Hello and welcome to the channel. My name's John Irwin and this is Excelsior Entertainments. It's Thursday the 23rd of June 2022. Our walk today, complete with the drone of course, which is in the bag, is going to be around about 10 miles. I'm sat at the intersection where the Kendall Green crossing is on the Trans Pennine Trail, and I'm going to be heading up the trail towards the Silkstone Tunnels and then over the top down towards the Penistone area, and we're heading towards a viaduct in that area, but not the main one. We are going to be then heading along the trail towards the Thurgoland area to find the viaduct I'm looking for, which is called the Rompticle Viaduct, or Rumticle, depending on how you pronounce it. So I've got a bottle of water in the bag to keep me cool, so let's get on with it, shall we? So, come up the trail a little bit to, there is a sign in front of me that says "Welcome to South Yorkshire Forest." It is at the point, for those of you that know and don't know, the Trans Pennine Trail here used to be a railway line that went all the way from the Manvers area, all the way up to and including Penistone and along to Dunford Bridge, that area. But I am at the junction point where it branched off to a pit that closed in 1978. Called the Wentworth Silkstone Colliery. So it's 11:15. I set off at 11 AM. If you're wondering why it takes so long, well, you stop and do bits and pieces on the way up, bits to camera, take photographs, etc, etc. So it takes a little bit of time. I've just been thinking as I came up the trail that when I get towards where I'm going, which is the Silkstone Tunnels, up and over the top and along a track, you come down to a pub called the Travellers. So I think when I get there might be a pint involved. So I've come a little bit further up the trail, sat on this bench. I thought I'd explain exactly where I was. Just over there in the trees off to my left is the old location of what was known as the old Sovereign Pit. You're technically not allowed to go on there, but I'm going to show you some images of what I took a few years back before I realised of course it was private property. I'm heading up the trail now towards the Silkstone Tunnels and then on towards the Traveller's Rest, and definitely looking forward to that pint. So I've come up the trail then, and not quite at the Silkstone Tunnels, but I'm getting there. What I've done is I've stopped off at this sort of monument, art installation, call it what you will. I think it was put here in around 1989. I can't seem to find a lot of information on the internet about it, but I'll do my best. Anyway, as I said, still heading up the trail off to my right there, and we should be reaching the Silkstone Tunnels in around about 6 or 7 minutes. So let's continue. So we've not quite finished getting up the trail. We're heading towards the Silkstone Tunnels and the Travellers, and met a couple as I was making my way up, and they were telling me that the little monument down there was just to the miners in general, and it was put there, as he said, after the miners' strike in 1984. The best I could find was it was installed in 1989. Now, we were also discussing the fact that this used to be a railway line, and one of the things that I do love are the little things that have been put up to give you a reminder. And if you look just on that tree there, although it's fake and it's probably not official, there is a signal to give you, I suppose, as I say, a reminder of times gone by. Anyway, let's carry on continuing up the trail and heading towards the Travellers. £1:25 then, as you can see from that sign and that building behind me. I've arrived at the Travellers Inn at Oxspring, and I think it's time for that pint. So, had my drink at the Travellers Inn, so I've come away and I'm heading down this road in front of me. Very busy junction at where I'm sat on this bench. I'm heading down this road. There's another pub at the bottom called the Wagon and Horses. Might go in there, might not. So, let's continue. So I've rejoined the Trans Pennine Trail. Over my right shoulder and back down there, in that direction, is Penistone and Dunford Bridge, but I'm going forward over in that direction, heading towards Thurgoland and Wortley, and the Rompticle Viaduct is a little bit further down the trail. This part of the section, I don't know if it's the longest, straightest part of the section across the entire Trans Pennine Trail, but it is a very, very long, straight section. I'll get you some video just to show you how far it disappears, sort of off into the sunset, as it were, in either direction. But in the meantime, we continue up the trail that way, towards the viaduct. Also down there as well are the Thurgoland Tunnels, and if I get a chance, depending on how the day goes, I will go through those tunnels and maybe head home via Wortley Estate and come out at Tankersley and Pilly. But let's see how we progress, shall we? So here we are then, we've reached the location of the Rompticle Viaduct, and as you can see from this little bit of footage, it doesn't look much, does it, to the untrained eye. So what I'm going to try and do is get down below it with a drone and give you some idea of what it looks like from the air. So fingers crossed, let's see how it goes. Well then, managed to get the Rompticle Viaduct, bit of drone footage. Then as I was walking along, in typical British summer style, the sun went away, the clouds came out, now it's overcast. Been one or two spots of rain, and here I am in a t-shirt and I'm miles from home. So there's quite a possibility that I'm going to get wet. So I'm going to sort of go back down the trail behind me and pick up the route and sort of, as quick as I can, head back to Worsbrough, looking like a drowned rat when I'm finished.